welcome back to Visual Waves, and this is your one-stop guide to Georgia.
Going to be a comprehensive video covering pretty much everything you need to know before you plan your trip to Georgia. We are going to be covering various topics that would be segmented throughout this video. You would be able to see the list of those topics on your screen now. So without further ado, let's get into it.
So the first topic that we are going to talk about is best time to visit Georgia. Honestly, all year round you can visit Georgia depending on your preference. During the summer months you can visit, that is from June to August, but it will be a little hotter and it will be a little costlier and a little more crowded.
Yep.
We visited Georgia during the shoulder season, that is in September. So you can visit during this autumn season if you want to experience a little bit of fall, September to October, November, and then it gets colder. And if you want to experience the winter of Georgia and proper snow and skiing, then you should definitely visit from December to February.
Yep.
And you should stay in Gadori at this time because they have a lot of ski resorts in Gadori.
Right.
And if you want to visit during spring, then you can go in March and April. You will experience the bloom of the flowers. Yep. Okay, now let's talk about the flights. So we booked our flight from Hyderabad. In India, you have direct flights to Georgia from Delhi and Bombay. As we were traveling from Hyderabad, our connecting flight was from Bombay. So from Hyderabad to Bombay and then from Bombay to Georgia, Tbilisi, the capital of Georgia, it took around 5 hours. The flights costed us 38k, but it can range from 32 to 38k depending how soon you book, and we honestly recommend that you please book it like 2 to 3 months prior because it gets very costly very fast.
So let's talk visa. The process is relatively smooth. You can directly apply on their government website. If you are confident and have all the documents, you can go via that route, or you can go via the assisted route, which is choosing a platform of your preference. For example, Make My Trip, Atlas. We did it to Make My Trip and it was pretty smooth and a seamless experience. We got our visa delivered on time. It's an e-visa that we got and it cost us around 4,000 per person. Very seamless process. Definitely recommended. The list of the documents that you'll be needing in order for this process to be smooth in terms of getting the visa on time and everything and hassle-free, you should be able to see up on your screen right about now. So that was pretty much it about the visa. As for the immigration part, we have made a detailed video of how our experience at the Georgian immigration was. You should be able to see the link of that video on your screen now. And yeah, it was overall very smooth. All they checked was our passport and visa and they led us through. So overall very smooth. Details you can check out on the video. So yeah, that was about visa and immigration.
So next, let's talk about our itinerary in Georgia. So we were in Georgia for 7 days and we spent 2 days each in 3 different locations. The first 2 days were in the capital city of Georgia, that's Tbilisi. We spent 2 days there, and after that we went to the Kakheti or the wine region of Georgia. We spent 2 days there. If you want, you can spend 1 day there. We wanted to have a more relaxed vacation, hence 2 days there. From there, we drove to Kazbegi, that is the Caucasus Mountain region of Georgia. You can also visit Batumi, which is a beachside location in Georgia. It takes like 5 hours via car, or you can book a train from Tbilisi. So that's about the itinerary. I would recommend one more location, that is Armenia. Armenia is very close to Georgia. You can either book a day trip or again you can do a road trip to Armenia. You can check out the options in Klook.
So let's talk stays. So we booked all of our stays from Airbnb. Okay, so you can go for multiple other operators and options depending on your preference. Like for example, hotels, resorts and stuff like that. We are more into that B&B setup and kind of that cozy and like more flexible vibe. So which is why we booked all of our stays for the trip through Airbnb, right? Now the first day that we had in Tbilisi, like she mentioned in the itinerary, the first 2 days we were in the capital itself, right? That's where we landed, and that's where we decided to spend the first 2 days. So we booked our stay, and this was a lucky pull, by the way. We did not plan this, but the stay that we got was right in the center of the city, and it was a very cute little cozy loft setup, very minimal, very aesthetic, and kind of peaceful as a setup. But the setup itself, the location was right on Eternally Street. Now, this street itself is very vibrant, right? It has a lot of cafes, hustle and bustle, a lot of people coming through. Very touristy, but very chill and beautiful. Very vibrant during night, very peaceful during the days. And the best part about is the location. So it was situated in such a manner that it is very close to major attraction spots. For example, Rustaveli Avenue or other various
Old Town.
Old Town, and various other attraction points that you would find for Tbilisi, right? They are very close by. And so that was one major USP. It saved us a lot of hassle. And so overall it was a great area. And if you are going in Tbilisi, we would definitely recommend this at least as one of the stays where you can perhaps look into and find maybe something that you like. Then for Kakheti, right? So Kakheti is the vineyard region which has multiple areas under it. We decided to go to Signagi. Now Signagi is also known as the city of love. Again, very peaceful, kind of a hilly region. And so we stayed again in a B&B, which by the looks from outside was supposed to be spooky, but when we went inside and entered our Airbnb, it was a very minimal, very beautiful Airbnb. Had a balcony facing the entire outskirts of the region and all. It was very beautiful, and again very peaceful. So to our surprise, Signagi overall was very quiet and peaceful. It follows that typical village route, like things start early and wrap up early, is that kind of a setup. But very chill, and the stay was also very nice. By the way, towards the end of this video, we would be talking about our recommendations. So you would be coming to know about certain wine tastings and experiences that we would recommend you. So you can stay tuned for that. And for the last day in Kazbegi, now that topped the charts. Now that was a typical 2-tier A-shaped cabin right up in the mountains. Again, at a great location, justified for the price, very close to the markets, and had a beautiful straight shot of the Gageti Trinity Church. So every morning we woke up, it was that serene, beautiful surrounding. It was sometimes raining, sometimes very windy, sometimes the sun was up and it was throwing that, that all those rays up on the mountains. It was very beautiful, right? So all of these were our stays. And for the last day, we came back to Tbilisi. So the entire duration of the trip was for 7 days, right? So 2 days in Tbilisi, the cozy little loft, then 2 days in Signagi, and then 2 days in this cabin in Kazbegi, right? So we went back to Tbilisi for our last day, which was just a day before the next day when we were coming back. So it just made sense in terms of more or less in terms of commute and convenience, because we thought that it will be better because our flight is anyways from Tbilisi. We didn't want to drive all the way from Kazbegi to Tbilisi right on the last day when we are boarding a flight. We thought anyways the entire day is going to be hectic. Why not just come a day back earlier? So that's when we came back to Tbilisi. And so those were all of our stays. And we have made a detailed walkthrough post of all of our stays that we had booked on Insta. So you can check that out on our page on Visual Waves.
Okay, so let's talk briefly about the currency part of Georgia. So Georgia's currency is Georgian lari, and 1 Georgian lari is approximately 33 Indian rupees. When you visit Georgia, just check it online what's the current rate. When we visited, it was 33 Indian rupees. And we carried 1000 USD dollars per head, but we managed with around 500 USD per head in a week. We also carried a Forex card, which we always do with some backup amount. You can also do that. That's pretty much it about the currency. And regarding the conversion part, just carry the dollars, and when you reach Tbilisi, you will find a lot of conversion shops in and around the city, a lot of them. That's not an issue. So when you land there, you just get your money converted there. I mean the USD dollars. Let's talk about the SIM. So I got the Airtel International roaming package, and Nikhil got one local SIM from the airport, just in case. I was not sure how good Airtel was going to work there. So I took the Airtel SIM, he got the local SIM. That's pretty much it.
Right. So let's talk about transport. So when you are in Tbilisi, for the days when you know where you're not going in and out of Tbilisi, you are just in the city, we would recommend that you go blindly for Uber. Okay, just take cabs. Things are nearby. It's not that big of a city, but the roads are a little confusing. Even the seasoned drivers out there, they were making certain judgment errors while routing us from point A to point B. So we would just recommend that at least for Tbilisi, just rely on the cabs that you can book. Just book an Uber and you can go on your way, right? Apart from that, and at least this is what we did for the rest of the journey, because we were planning to hit multiple cities, right? Like apart from the capital, we were going to Signagi, the wine region, and again all the way back up in the mountains for Kazbegi. So we took a self-driven car for ourselves. So we pre-booked it from localren.com. The links and details you will be able to see on the description of this video, and we got it pre-booked well in advance before our trip, because we had read and heard that if you book it kind of last minute, you might not get that good of an options and you could get overcharged, right? So localrent.com was a well researched website, and we booked through it. We paid kind of a token amount and then paid the rest of the majority of the amount, in fact, while we were getting the car handed over to us. So so while booking it, it was a seamless process. They just asked for some basic documents, but when you go there and actually pick up your car, right? And by the way, they have doorstep delivery, so you can just enter your address, the location of the hotel or the stay that you have booked, and they will bring the car there to you, right? And also when you're dropping it off, you can again give a drop location, so again they'll come and pick the car from you. So that way it is pretty hassle free, very smooth and seamless experience, right? So hence localrent.com for that. So we booked a Toyota Camry. It was a good, comfortable hybrid car, well suited for pretty much every landscape that we drove through. We drove a lot. We went from Tbilisi all the way to Signagi, that was like 2 hours one way, and then from Signagi all the way till Kazbegi was pretty much like 6 to 7 hours if you take breaks, which you will, and not because of the roads, by the way. The roads are fab. Even the astonishing part was when we were driving up in the mountains, we thought maybe like India, you might get cornered into very closed spaces and very narrow lanes and roads where navigating might become tricky, but that was not the case at all. The roads are a 10 on 10 across Georgia. You can drive without fear. If you are used to driving India, then I don't think you need to fear anything. You can just drive there. While booking this entire experience, and if you want to book a car like us, just make sure that you get an international driving permit. You can Google about it. It's fairly simple process, and obviously it works if you have a domestic 4-wheeler license as well. So IDP is just a translation of your driving license into multiple languages, that it is accepted across various countries across the globe, but it only makes sense if you have a domestic license along with it. Not that we were checked even once, by the way. Not once during our entire trip where we stopped by any police or a patrolling checkpoint to check our documents, but it's always recommended that you travel that way, and even the provider won't hand you over the car unless you actually produce those documents in front of them while you're taking it. It cost us, for the 5 days that we booked it for, it cost us around 15 to 16,000 rupees, just the car rental, which I would say is pretty standard and a very reasonable rate. If you do some comparison online, you will get that. And the fuel is pretty much the full to full policy. They'll give you almost a full tank. You'll have to return it in the full tank manner. So since we drove a lot, we had to refuel the car 2 times, and it cost around 8 to 10k INR. And the rates of fuel are almost similar to what you find in India as well. So that was pretty much about the transportation. One last important point: do not take local cabs when you land at the airport to reach your hotel or stay. It might seem intuitive to do so. Maybe after a long flight, you just don't want to book through the hassle. You are in a new country, maybe you don't trust the Uber. But trust us, just book Uber and you'll be fine. We booked a local car from some guy who was standing at the airport because we were just too tired to do anything, pretty much anything. And it cost us, I kid you not, almost 10x the price that it would have actually taken you had you just taken the cab. So that is what we did when we were coming back to the airport on our return. We just booked an Uber, Uber Green. We got a Tesla. Very smooth ride. It cost 1/10 of the cost what we had to pay when we, took that local car or something. So an important thing, it could, save you some good amount of money. So that was all about transportation.
Okay. So let's discuss about all the things that you can do in Georgia. I'll just give you a list of things that you can do in each of the locations that we visited. First, let's talk about Tbilisi. So in Tbilisi, all the major attractions, I will give you the list of the major locations. For example, you can visit Chronicles of Georgia, which is a little far away from the city. It will take you like 40 minutes from the main city, but it's worth the visit. We kind of missed it because we could not fit into our itinerary, but you should.
It was kind of visible from our last stay's balcony.
Yeah, it was visible from our balcony, but we could not visit.
Okay.
But you should definitely visit Chronicles of Georgia. You should take a cable car ride to Mother of Georgia. You should visit the huge church that you will be able to see right when you enter the city. You will be able to see the Cathedral of Tbilisi, the Holy Trinity. Cathedral.
Yeah.
So you should visit that. You should also experience sulfur bath in Tbilisi and explore the old Tbilisi. It's very rustic, very vibrant, lot of cafes, restaurants, wall arts, wall painting. So yeah, walk around the city, explore the charm. That's pretty much about Tbilisi. Have the amazing food and the wine as well. Now let's go to Kakheti region. So Kakheti region has a lot of smaller towns in that. We were in Signagi, as we already discussed. Other than Signagi, you can also visit a town called Telavi. And I'll also give you some more towns and vineyards in the list on the screen. You can check those vineyards out. Let's talk about Kazbegi. So Kazbegi, we did a trek. We did the trek to the Holy Grigeti Trinity Church.
Yep.
You can also do the trek to Juta Pass. It's a very famous, you have this Four Seasons hotel. You can go and trek till there. Very nice views. There are also smaller treks to waterfalls and streams. So check out the area. A lot to explore. We did the trek to the church.
Yeah. So you see, we were just there for 2 days, right? So a day we just spent looking around. It was a good location. So we had our own car. So we just drove to explore the city area. Like there are very good cafes and like overall walking area and all is very beautiful. It's an overall very beautiful foothill area. And so just that one another day we thought that we'll start early by going through an early morning trek to the church. But if you have more time, like
you
Trina
can do
suggested,
the other treks.
You can do other treks.
Yep. And on the way to Kazbegi, you can stop by the Ananori Fortress and then a little more drive, and then you can go to the Friendship Monument. So the Friendship Monument is the
Russia-Georgia Friendship Monument.
It's very pretty. It has the backdrop of the mountains, so you can stop there. It's near Gadori. That's another location that you can visit.
And the Ananori fortress that you have, it's against the backdrop of a reservoir, right? So you will have those bluish toned like water and lake area, and that's where the backdrop is for this fortress. So it's that reservoir / lake area, and just after that comes the fortress. So that's kind of
very scenic.
It's very scenic and very beautiful. The monument is going to come in Gadori, which is by the time you are in Gadori, you are pretty much already there to your location in Kazbegi as well. So it's not very far from there.
It's not very
far. Expect that monument towards like when you're about to reach your location. So that's.
And you can you can probably do the fortress while you're on the way to Kazbegi, and when you're coming back from Kazbegi, you can stop at the monument. You can divide it like that.
You can divide it as per your wish.
That's pretty much about the major attractions. Let's talk about the food. What was your experience
Yeah, so Georgia is pretty diverse and very welcoming to, I think, all sorts of tourists. So if you prefer to have Indian food, you'll get multiple options for that. Or if you are open to exploring Georgian cuisine, we could definitely recommend you that. So we tried certain local Georgian cuisine as well, which was very nice. There is this typical food that they serve, which is pretty much like what we have, like rajma dal, but they serve is in those beautiful clay pots, and you can have it with bread and something. I don't know the name of it. I mean, I know it, but I can't recall it off the top of my head. But you can search for it online. Then there is this kacha puri, which is like a very cheese loaded and egg loaded, like a very big bread, and it's very beautiful and goes without saying, it goes very well with wine. So that was about the food. So do try bread-based cuisine while you are in Georgia. I would say it's pretty good. Most of them are producing these snacks, fresh, made out of their own bakery.
And they are famous for their wine, bread, and cheese.
Yeah.
So while you're there, explore their culture and have their food.
Recommend that, but
you will also get Indian restaurants.
Absolutely, that's not gonna be a problem at all. And wine, it is. If you just Google the birthplace of wine, it would be Georgia. So that's kind of a big deal, right? So, so you just check out the places, you try out their local wine. You can even get wine when you even walk into the supermarket, like of anything that you find there. And then apart from wine, then there is a relatively more stronger than a drink to have, which is cha-cha, which is kind of like Georgian vodka. So the only difference being, instead of being potato driven, it's made from grapes itself. But it still has a good concentration of 40-42% or something like that. So that's about the food and wine. So how was your overall experience? If you would like to share anything about that.
Yes, so whenever someone asks me like how was the Georgia trip, or if I would recommend the country to them, yes, my answer would be it would be a very wholesome trip. Like, you will get to experience a lot of different landscapes. You can be in, like, one day you can be in the city, like explore the nightlife. Tbilisi has a great nightlife, and the next day you can just wake up and take a 4 hours drive and go to the Caucasus Mountains, and then the next day you can be in the vineyard region, so peaceful, like it's a countryside region, explore the wine cultivation and their. So it's pretty much you can experience different things on different days, and you can also go to the beachside location. So if you are planning to go for like 7 to 10 days, there are so many different things that you can do. So that was my experience of Georgia, like very, very wholesome, very different, like each day something different to do, and very relaxing. And as a whole, the country is very pretty and scenic.
Yeah, very relaxing, very chill. Very chill, very laid back. Yeah, and it was overall very welcoming. We didn't find anyone being unnecessarily rude or anything. It was good on the hospitality front. The food, the stays that we were at.
Stays were nice, yeah.
The value for money also, like considering it's the nearest thing that you can find to Europe. It's
when people say if you want to visit Europe on a budget and Georgia comes on that list, that's true. Like,
so Georgia is Europe on a budget. So
Yeah.
you will see like a price breakdown of our entire trip, including pretty much everything. Now towards the end of the video. Okay. Thanks for watching this video. I hope that whatever you heard as a part of this video helps you while you plan your trip for Georgia. If you have any specific questions that was not covered as a part of this video, just drop them in the comments and we'll get back to you. Yes. And if you like such videos and if you find it informative, please share it with your friends and family. Support this channel by subscribing to it. And we'll see you on the next video. Stay tuned.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.